afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and riveting and amazing Propagandacast. Me, your host from Pearl Dane, the one, the only master of propaganda. We're off here till 1 vs 1 on Bayeux in the north is the angry Dutchman. Fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Taking on the role here of the 352nd Infantry Division West and South, it is Thusanai, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Taking on the role here of the 6th Armored, we got Lightning War, Elite Troops and Defensive Doctrine with double Pantherfast Infantry versus Heavy Cavalry, Rifle Company and Infantry Company with Triple Infantry as well. Certainly a bit of emphasis there on infantry play. With not well, some armor elements there as well. We got double grenadier start here for Angry Dutchman. There's some of the MD42 in the early game. Always a bit risky versus the Americans in particular, as your grenadiers are particularly ill-disposed versus the riflemen, since once riflemen close up, they usually have a massive DPS advantage. So the MD42 is usually there quite crucially in ensuring they don't easily close in, but also just keeping manpower bleeding to a minimum so you can faster take it and bring up equipment and infantry that is better suited for fighting the riflemen. We'll have to see, of course, what Angry Dutchman does, but just a quick note there. Why going up here? Looking to deny the enemy cover very rapidly. That does also mean he's not quite grabbing as much territory in the early game, whereas Angry Dutchman is just sitting out there, well, angrily and aggressively. Third grenadier squad on the way, they're still on sound the MD42 there, or anything else for that matter. And as always, please remember to like, subscribe and share, and press that bell button. Helps me, helps you, and of course a big thanks to my Patreon supporters, without which this episode would certainly not have been possible. Got grenadiers arriving here by the southern point here, grabbing the eastern Venetians point here. Third rifle squad on the way there for Thusanai. So far, effectively just both pumping out infantry. Western fuel put them being seized by the Pioneer. Sandbags part wide done. Grenadiers waiting for more grenadiers. Not necessarily the best idea to hide the grenadiers. You're sure the rifle can't shoot you, but again, if the rifle get up, they'll be immediately within effective range, and your grenadiers are going to get shot to bits. Of course, now more grenadiers arriving. The situation looks different, but nonetheless, normally I wouldn't advise this unless, again, you had a lot of other grenadiers nearby. There go, more rifle arriving as well here. Quickly engaging up close. More grenadiers pursuing, more rifle arriving. Probably should get those moving up. He's too concerned, I think, trying to grab the victory on the run, trying to win the engagement. Gives the grenadiers a better chance to shoot Thusanai's rifle up close. Fourth grenadier squad there, so Angry Dutchman going for an infantry build there versus the Americans. Always pretty much can see the rifle grenadier squad all the way down to half health right here, though. Been walking room for the rifleman, trying to pull in, but stay quickly where focus down. While again, keeping the other rifle squad at max range. You'd be trying to close in with both squads, or you've just been backing off here, to be honest. In this case, the engagements will go well for Angry Dutchman because he's just got more infantry on the spot, and again, the terrain basically favoured him as Thusanai was too quick to give up on all his favourable terrain. Southwest Pioneers right by the rifle squad here. Grabbing the victory point in the centre, quickly pulling through with the grenadiers. Far East reactions moving about. We'll have to see what comes next. Here we got the Lieutenant on the way for Thusanai and the 6th Armoured Division. Angry Dutchman there just for the 4 grenadiers so far. Some players like to go for heavy grenadier builds, but they are very much prone to running into issues like, for example, just excessive manpower bleed and just quickly losing momentum, since the 4-man grenadier squad does quickly bleed out, so it can quickly become combat ineffective. That's usually one of the major risks with going for heavy grenadier builds. And typically you then go for the 2.5 to, in theory, sort of keep this, supported, but most players just never do that, at which point, again, they can quickly find themselves struck with the map control. They're not careful. We got here Thusanai, though, going for a very quick infantry company choice there. We got rifle defensive structures, the mortar half track, light machine guns, time on target artillery barrages, and the priest. He's likely going for it primarily, though, for the light machine gun, since that's a quick way of just getting a lot of firepower on the rifleman without having to upgrade for weapon racks right away. Plus mines and sandbags, of course, is always nice. We can see there now he's basically trying to avoid Angry Dutchman. The Angry Dutchman needs to get up again. Oaks, he's going to do too much. Always pushing westwards. Going to probably push for the western fuel point there. Deny it. Of course, Angry Dutchman is already denying Thusanai his fuel point. Ambulance away there for Thusanai. Medic bunker up there soon for Angry Dutchman. You got the tech, but nothing further out of that. Sandbags in the centre. Rifleman pushing eastwards. I mean, with this sort of heavy build, he's either going to go for Lightning War or for Elite Troops, simply for the Jaeger Light Infantry upgrade, so he can upgrade all these grenadiers with the G43, since typically one way you can go for a grenadier heavy build versus the Americans, they'll come ahead somewhat, is by going for the Jaeger Light Infantry up, since the grenadiers with G43s tend to perform reasonably well versus riflemen. So we'll of course have to see if that's what he does, but he's very likely to end up with these two, and of course the defensive doctrine, either way, you go for it fast so you can get out the Ostrom at this point. So, I mean, already it's the clip, not happening. So, again, it's more like just Elite Troops with Lightning War. And again, which of the two it is then, of course, it's much harder to say. Part of me would go for Elite Troops because I like Storms, but also versus the Americans. Stun grenades are pretty great. And there you go. Rather than here, catching the Grenadiers in a pretty bad spot. That's a good chance of getting a wipe here, since the Riflemen are very good at wiping units up close. If they're too low in health, they have a good chance of doing it. We got a 2.5 on the way of the Angry Dutchman. Will it be to support the Grenadiers, or will it be for the flame for a half-tack? I mean, a flame for a half-tack certainly would make sense, but also just regular half-tack and then upgrading the Grenadiers would honestly also make a lot of sense. In fact, it would give Angry Dutchman a lot more mobility and quickly shifting his troops from point to point. But we'll see there what it ends up being. Alright, it's the flame for a half-tack. Not what I'd like to see personally, but certainly not a bad choice at all either. Points are being seized, fuel being cut off. Both players know about it and playing very aggressively. Then again, for the Venom, it's all with the trickier bits and things. You want the machine gun to just help support and keep the manpower bleed in your favour, but also just help hold ground. That's kind of where he can struggle with Angry Dutchman. This is where, in fact, a lot of players for the Wehrmacht fall apart if they pull off this strategy. Flame for after that will help a bit more, but still, fuel point there cut off, losing the eastern fuel point again. This right there. We got a 5th goal on the way there for Thusanai. He's going to need some weapon X either way, because he's going to need something to stop that flame for half-tack fast. Otherwise, it's going to burn through his men very rapidly. The flame for half-tack, while it certainly is one of the weaker in terms of durability anti-infantry vehicles, it can do a lot of damage very fast. And really should not be underestimated in that way. There's saying losses being killed out to the riflemen behind heavy cover. Very good. The new squad flank out there with a rifle. They have no easy way of dealing with it. Just punishing Thusanai here, but can still catch him a crossfire there. Troops being pushed back with a flame for a half-tack, causing a major rout there for Thusanai. 50 caliber is going to struggle best. It can do it if it's like set up and has prepared the armor-piercing rounds in advance, but if it gets caught off guard, even remotely, the flame for half-tack would completely incinerate it. And there you go, Angry Dutchman commits to Elite Troops, so that's, G for the freeze either way once he gets it. Might see Stormtroopers. Brass got been caught with a Flampanzerwagen. Scorched horribly. We'd also get Stormtroopers as well. Possibly to further cover up here. Maybe also scout ahead in case there's any anti-tank weapons that could be hiding here. Also puts them at 5 infantry squads. 5th Cub there hosing away at the building. Rav squad there down to just 2 men. Lots of aggressive and rapid maneuvers here from both sides so far. Very nice to see. Fires burning up. There you go. Rav got hit with a flame for a half-tack on the flank. Burned through in a matter of seconds. There you go. 5th Cub is definitely not prepared for this. And of course he's going to quickly focus that one down to force the retreat. More troops moving in. We do not have bazookas here for Thusanai. I'm guessing it's going to be the Steward light tank he's planning here to counter the flame for a half-tack. Not a bad one, though. Does take a bit of a while here for him. And once more, Angry Dutch is just severing every supply line in the meanwhile. Just looking to cut off as much of Thusanai's resource income to slow down any potential counter strategies as well. And for that matter, just disrupt his general strategy. Steward light taking away with Thusanai and the 6th Armored Division. Meanwhile, back here, nothing going on there for Angry Dutchman. Stomps, so they're getting the MP40. Grabbing the Eastern Fuel Pond there as well. Been a lot of great big swings in just terms of map control, matter moments. So that's some interesting play there to see. Stormtroopers up in the building. Probably more want to like try and ambush with them, like draw them in and then pop into the building, rather than hit max range where they can just be shot to death, because the MP40s do poorly at long range, obviously, since it's a submachine gun. There you go, forced retreat. Be unfortunate there for Angry Dutchman. Had he just set it up here, probably could have lured something in and murdered it. Up close, actually. And oh, this is a mistake here. Gets too close. If we don't get the smoke there, but even then, had he been able to time enough fast with both anti-tank rifle grenades, he might still be able to do that with the second one. He can take out the flame for a half-tack. That's going to hurt Angry Dutchman a bit. And there we go. The Raf squad doing it is getting some rather severe 3rd-degree burns in the process. In fact, almost gets wiped, and he still doesn't get the half-tack. So it does slightly pan out there for Angry Dutchman. Could have been a lot worse. Going to be so routed. Steward light tank up. Probably may try and rush in and finish off the flame for a half-tack here. Flampanzer there with a tiny sliver of health. Jürgen desperately wishing he had picked another assignment. Machine gun weather for Angry Dutchman finally. Bit late there, but better late than never, as they say. Western point here being seized. In fact, he's going straight for the fuel point again. Looking to disrupt his opponent's fuel supply, ensuring that his opponent doesn't get too far ahead of him. It's a very good move there by Thusanai. Of course, he's thankfully not going to be taking anyone time soon, so that's good again. And of course, it is worth remembering Thusanai's one is aggressively disrupting his opponent's fuel already, so There you go, smoke screen off. You can still attack ground, of course it will require a bit more management. Ooh, misses, close one there, all the way. And most of the smoke anyways passing a few seconds. He may as well not have bothered, really. I saved up the munitions for something like a Panzerfaust maybe, or mine. But alright, quickly falling back here, he just needed to do that. Dragging back the eastern fuel point, grabbing points here and there. Again, just aggressive plays from both sides. They both know it's all about momentum. It's about pushing far and hard. So thumbs up there to both Thusanai and Angry Dutchman. Lots of infantry there, of course, now backed up by the MG42. He will likely need a Pack 40 here to help deal with the Stuart light tank. Or he could, of course, just try and ignore it. A bit bolder, but versus the Stuart, it's not necessarily as dangerous as doing it, say, versus a T-70 light tank, which could really ruin your day. Pack 40 on the way there, though, he's taking no chances. We'll have to see what Thusanai does. I mean, he can go for the light machine guns as infantry and increase their firepower exponentially. We've got the M20, though. An interesting pick here. Normally, you tend to be like the first M20 then Stuart light tank. You will rarely see players go for the Stuart and then the M20. An interesting pick there by Thusanai, and one wonders what the general idea behind that is. Is he going for it for the mines, or is there some other purpose there behind Thusanai's movements? So far, though, no sign of the light machines being handed out, despite again having them locked. He's got munitions for it. So one wonders just a bit there what Thusanai is thinking here. What his plans are. Me like this machine gun should be a bit more active. There we go. In the west, we've got Lieutenant moving up here. Going to at grab the western point here. Worth noting, despite having going for elite troops, we haven't seen a single G for any upgrade really on the Grenadiers here for Angry Dutchman. You could quickly regret this if Thusanai was a bit faster on upgrading light machine guns, but so far isn't quite there. Utility scout there for Thusanai and the 6th Armored Division rushing ahead there with its 6 wheels. No upgrades for that one. Stuart and the 20th engaging Grenadiers up close with machine guns and main guns. Grenadier squad routed. Need to fix up the Stuart. Lieutenant moving aggressively again. Note just these non-linear moves as just go straight for the supply cutoff points. That way just disrupting resource flow and just further just making it harder for Angry Dutchman to establish a cohesive line of defense. Very good there. 20 moving ahead. Rav squad also running from getting the Pack 40 close to support the Grenadiers here. Jurgen drops there. And these here, Rav being pushed back by MG42 Pioneer push. Good, good. Rav squad there falling back as well, but still got the car on there. Can then flank behind the Grenadiers. Back here, nothing further going. I'm still surprised the lack of any like infantry upgrades for both sides. Like normally at this point, someone have like a G43s or light machine guns or anything, but so far Thusanai and Angry Dutchman, I mean, got nothing. The closest got is the Stormtroopers with MP40s. We're sending him the fuel point again. Stuart backing up with M20. Forming up a motorized patrol there, roughing up the Lieutenant. Ooh, he probably shouldn't have stood there. I'm not sure why I didn't go use the headed cover, but he might have been word, of course, then he got roughed from there. Almost got the machine gun there. Nice flank here by Thusanai. Connie's moving in right in front of the M20 and the Stuart light tank. Lieutenant retreats, decides not to stick about there. Still no upgrades. Is he planning to like lay down a bunch of M6 anti-tank mines, in which case he should be a bit faster about it. Connie's moving right in the open. Tank fire there. Fuel cache up here for Thusanai, setting up for a longer place. Also floating a bit of manpower there. Should be cautious about that. Still, fuel cache is not a bad idea. That probably recommend there for a bit safer setup. Punishment to the 5th caliber. Still, he's clearly planning to move ahead for armor faster, which is definitely not bad. Pack for him in the Stuart, pushing that and the M20 back. Still, he really should begin upgrading his troops, and similarly, Angry Dutchman really should begin upgrading his Grenadiers. Storms were there, basically with booby traps on the card point. Thumbs up. They realize, of course, his opponent is quite keen on harassing and cutting off there. A booby trap can be quite a nice little counter. Grenadiers moving about. Looks like we got some munitions finally handed out. There go G for the feast for at least 2 of the Grenadier squads there for Angry Dutchman. Sehr good. Sehr good. Using the points here, using the points there. Bravo Neves the Grenadiers in the west. Back here, nothing further going. We got, there we go. Finally, light machines being handed out there to Thusanai's infantry. Funny how they sort of roughly at the same time begin upgrading their basic infantry. When easily both of them could have, I think, been pushing for a hard advantage in the fast. But there you go. We have take up. We got this bomber crop there for Angry Dutchman. That's going to be a problem there for Thusanai, who, I mean, he doesn't even like have enough like anti-tank guns or larger caliber to slow down the tanks. He might need to be in a bit tight spot here versus Angry Dutchman, who doesn't quickly know pull hard for his advantage again. This is, you know, why should have gone probably for those light machine guns fast as well. There you go, boob trap goes off, kills some poor bastard. Gonna open up the rifleman, but this gonna need to take fire from the light tank. Also, additional sneaky trick you can commit to with a booby trap. If you lay down a teller mine roughly within the area there as well, there's a chance the booby trap can exit off the teller mine, causing even more damage, because the way the booby trap is set up, it's basically causing an explosion roughly at the center of the enemy squad. So again, if the center of the squad is actually on the teller mine, as one guy moves too far and triggers the booby trap, boom. Found that out recently. So, little nasty combo trick there if you're curious. Again, it's not super reliable, but it's something you can keep in mind. Panther 4 Noy the Angry Dutchman. Fix up the stood light tank there. Moving for the western point here with the lieutenant. Rifle reinforcing. So yeah, Thusanai will need a captain now, or he's going to need to take up faster. He's also floating too much manpower for me to be comfortable with. There we go, take up on the way, but he still is going to have no serious counter to the Panther 4, and that's going to be a serious problem for Thusanai. I mean, I would say also he's like, you know, he's been playing quite well. He's making some good maneuvers, but he's definitely been a bit behind in terms of tech. And again, the manpower float here is starting to look a bit concerning. I mean, he's also, you know, ahead. But missing out, I think, just opportunity to really push ahead of his opponent. I mean, also going to just build more fuel caches, like, you know, just try and further convert it into like some other advantage rather than just floating so much manpower, because that means once things really get heat up because your opponent is not flowing that much resources, you know, it could end up in a bad spot. So there you go, Panther 4 here for Angry Dutchman, seizing the western points. Rifleman setting out. I mean, I can understand he doesn't want to keep churning out infantry, but again, there are other things you can spend their manpower on. Take almost done. He's going to have to rush out a Sherman, possibly. Well, obviously, he's going to have to do that. The question, of course, if he can do that. Major is out. Panther is the Steward and the M20. Doesn't have ammunition. There you go, smoke and pop with the M20. Of course, need to be able to still get his shot through the smoke. There you go, down that goes. He's got control of both fuel points. He's not far off. Oh, we got weapon racks. Okay, he's going for the bazookas. Fair enough. But he doesn't even have the munitions for that. So a bit of an awkward spot there for Thusanai versus Angry Dutchman. Storms are charging in. They're probably going for a deeper flank. They instead call up between two light machine guns. And a quick suffering casualties there. Less great here. Panther moving up, going for the fuel cache. Good move there by Angry Dutchman, seizing upon Thusanai's weakness. And weak spot. He's still not far off from a Sherman, but I definitely feel like Thusanai is fumbling a bit there. He is fumbling a bit. Bring up here in the eastern fuel point over the Grenadiers. I'm honest, at this point he probably could have like settled fuel caches down more and be already pushing out tanks, so definitely not quite luxury there. We got Major there with a bazooka or two, possibly. Just one. That's not going to stop the Panther 4 for long. Just slow down a bit. Going to bring for the northern fuel point there. Very close to the Sherman. Another fifth cover there for Thusanai. I suppose he'll deal with the infantry until he can get out the armor. Panther 4 gains 1. Good hit there. Good hit. Troops reinforcing healing. Sherman is not far off there from Thusanai and the 6th Armored. Angry Dutchman, the 52nd Infantry Division pushing out there with its own little advantage. Support from the nearby 2nd Panzer Division. More Pioneers to repair armor. Very good. 2nd Machine Gun Team, they're ready for Thusanai. And the tank really goes down to the engineer. The Panther 4 going here for the Pack 40. Not bad. Could also collect the machine gun. More push here. And can go for the Sherman now. There we go. Goes for it. Very good. There, in fact, he goes for it immediately. Turn big blast here by the Panther 4. Then he's occupying the building. 50 caliber Steward near basket of quickly force the Grenadiers to vacate the premises unless they want to be dead. Northern fuel reclaimed by Angry Dutchman. Traveling eastwards. Troops are back healing and enforcing. Seizing back the eastern fuel. Pack 40 with the Steward light tank. Panther 4 barely repaired here, moving ahead again. 50 calibers, rifle moving up. No sufficient pursuit teams have to stop the Panther 4 heavily enough here for him. We still got the Meiji with 1 bazooka. Losing the western victory point here. We got 398 with 245. Back here, troops in reinforcing. Sherman almost down there for Thusanai. Angry Dutchman heavily focused in the centre. Bazooka shot fired there. The Russian team under fire from the footage as well. There you go, Rifleman flanking up with the machine gun. Hey, good play there. We got Gunners up to cover that flank. Sherman setting out here. Rifleman up support there. Could try and outmaneuver here. Angry Dutchman's left flank. Does some heavy damage here. Just being pinned down. Almost got the machine with Gunners. Oh, yeah, forcing away the Rifleman. Sherman there, opening up the stormtroopers, wiping out the entire squad. Gunners in the middle of the road. Easy targets for the Rifleman squad. They were the double light machine guns. Together, of course. Machine gun there. Taking heavy fire out in the open. Stood flanking up. Pack forward nearby. Lots of action on both sides. Need to keep pressuring hard. This is to be working out there. We got a target weak point here ready now as a possibility there for Angry Dutchman. There you go. Gunners being murdered here by the light machine guns of the Rifleman Lieutenant. Almost getting a full wipe there. Thusanai, though, I feel like it's not gaining sufficient momentum here despite having now plenty of armor and infantry. He's still slightly staggeringly attacking, which is something Angry Dutchman's keen to take advantage of. Very keen. There you go. Sherman attacking. Panther IV takes a hit, but also gets a hit back. Back here, troops in enforcing. No sign of anything further there from Angry Dutchman. Pack 4, they need to be careful. Great hit on the Sherman. Panther IV gaining Reggie 2 there for Angry Dutchman. Pack shoots, misses. Gunners being flanked by the Rifle squad with the light machine guns, so turning in as well there. We've got Gunners on the far left side here as well. Sherman will try and deal with that. Troops bringing out once more from Thusanai's base. He definitely has a larger force now as his opponent. But the question is, can he wield it effectively here versus Angry Dutchman? We could easily be going for a second Panther IV now, to be honest. Stuart then engaging Grenadiers for support here from the 50 caliber. Back here, Sherman repairing at the edge of the base. Be capturing the car point for the machine, or the fuel point there. Eastern Victor points his back, Panther moving in. Machine guns, bazooka team setting out there. Reasons, I believe, opening upgraded bazookas now, so that gives us a bit more bazooka power as the Panther IV. Lieutenant almost taken out there. Great hit from the Panther IV, 21 kills. Finally, in the Pinlight machine gun, could have had that out sooner. Panther IV at half health, Gunners moving back to the centre, Stuart moving in as well. Lots of intense action here. It's starting to get more centre focused. The flanks are starting to lose attention there from both sides. In particular, the left side of the map is really starting to get forgotten there. Sherman almost good to go there. We got T4 on the way there. Angry Dutchman, in fact, now be potentially strong for the Tiger. Is realizing here what Thusanai is doing, which is flooding a bit too many damn resources and playing too passively. Angry Dutchman is going to basically just go for the Tiger race and try to finish them then faster, rather than play to Thusanai's pace, which definitely seems a bit on the slow end. He's just going to try and close this match out with a bang, which doesn't seem to be good, reconsidering again Thusanai is flowing a lot of manpower. Again, he's keep forgetting about the west side of the map by now, whereas previously he was quite good at realizing, hey, there's something to the west of this map as well. He now seems to like almost focus on the center there, where there's not really a lot of resource, and he needs more fuel to get if he wants to get out more armor here versus Angry Dutchman, which he really should want to. Captain on the way there, and to tank guns very likely. He may also want to consider pack out or mortar, to be honest. Both of those would do great work as well there for Thusanai versus Angry Dutchman. And it is on the far here from the Sherman tank, the M4E3. Moving on the west side there, growing points there. Pioneers in the far from the Stuart and the Sherman. Ground the western point here. Troops have been forcing. Almost got the captain ready. Of course, also gives them another infantry squad. But of course, access to anti-tank guns will be quite crucial as the Panther IV and any potential Tiger Aces. Though, of course, he will need a bunch. There's the Tiger Ace. Panther will engaging the Stuart light tank head on. Counter-attacking with Grenadiers on the left side here as Thusanai is threatening Angry Dutchman fuel. Stuart went down here in the east. Pack and Panther IV retreat. We got the Panther IV halfway to the ace level. And this he continue to bleed out the Lieutenant. The Lieutenant's doing as best as he can there. Behind heavy cover, though he's actually dead in there. Go rifling it off. Quick retreat there. Nicely timed. Bazooka team going for the Panther IV. Sherman also gets a good hit there. Panther IV down to half health. Captain is out. Got a bar there. Can also have the Browning light machine gun on top there. We should probably expecting a bunch of anti-tank soon here from Thusanai. Ooh, Stormtrooper exchange the 5th Cavalry here. Got a good chance there, but there's also him nearby, which may in fact disrupt the Stormtrooper's chances. Rather than the Gunneers. Oh, looks like he's not paying attention. The Gunneers have got easily several hits. They could even drop several models. And when they engage, yep, Thusanai is not paying attention on the left flank. Angry Dutchman, meanwhile, is getting ever closer to the Tiger Ace. They need the heavy Panzer Corps as well. There retreats in the west, trying to flank out the centre position here from both sides. Very good work there. Sadly, not a deep enough flank here. Hits into the machine guns. Very sort of edge there, the arc of fire. Pretty fortunate there for Angry Dutchman. Less fortunate for Thusanai. And taking on the weather, the M1. Very good. Mortar firing down. So we got a mortar for Angry Dutchman. He's got a full complement of support weapons, anti-tank weapons, artillery, and machine guns to top of the infantry and armour. Meanwhile, Thusanai is only infantry, machine guns, and a bit of armour, though he still lacks artillery, but he is getting the anti-tank gun at least. Back here, troops reinforcing healing. Anti-tank gun, they're done. Going back to victory points. Panther 4 close to the ace loop. Back here, troops reinforcing for Angry Dutchman. And there we go, we're going to see the Schwer Panzer Corps up there for them, and then you're going to see the Tigers, which you haven't seen in a bit, to be honest. But, you know, there's always time to see it. S-Mine's up, he put the amount sweepers in the rear, should be able to clear that out. Very good there. Going up the west side. Then you see there's the rifleman, heavy cover versus no cover, light machine versus G for the freeze. Of course, the mortar is going to be what swings the engagement here, possibly in favour of Angry Dutchman. If the mortar can hit, or if Thusanai just loses his nerve and retreats. More bazooka fire there, most of the rockets miss the Panther 4 at that range. In the west here, large infantry class part hand, we got the Gunneers back to machine gun versus 2 or 3 infantry scores to the mix of light machine guns of different varieties. Gunneers pushing the centre straight into the 5th Cavalry, getting murdered. Captain and Lieutenant responds to the Gunneers, moving up behind, of course, got the machine gun backing it all up. Oh, setting up there awkwardly. Gunneers being slowly murdered out, and for some reason it's not reacting. There we go. And then it has to reload. Oh, that's really bad luck. Can I not see? Hard to say that either way, though. Falling back here, the left-hand flank of, or the western flank there of Angry Dutchman collapses like a stack of cards in an earthquake. A house of cards. And a stack of cards probably also collapse as well. Just looks less impressive. Angry Dutchman, they're very close to the Tiger Ace. Panther 4 moving up. Bazooka team ready to deal with the Panzer flank at close range. Definitely want to be a bit careful about that. Gunneers flanking with the 5th Cavalry. Still slightly caught. There we go. Rifleman Elf kills half the crew. Got Rifleman to flash out those Grenadiers. Showing into flank here. Need the Bazooka teams nearby as well, though. Oh, so that Panther has a good chance for the Jump 2 since close to the Eastland. The increased rate of fire. There we go. Bazooka team's finally moving up. And there you go. Tiger Ace available here for Angry Dutchman and the German army. And the centre storms are being hammered by 5th Cavalry fire. Rifleman police move up. Western side. There's further being claimed there by Angry Dutchman. Panther taking everything down from bazookas. One dropped. In fact, there go forced retreat. And the bazookas left behind here for Angry Dutchman to cease. And with the arm of the Tiger Ace here, things are getting a bit rougher there for Thusanai, who's got only one anti-tank gun, some bazookas, and the Sherman anti-tank gun. Well, he can also call in the tank destroyer, and that's also going to give the Tigers a bit of a harder time. But it also depends on how Thusanai handles it. But he's actually getting most of the map back here now versus Angry Dutchman. Of course, setting up for the Tiger Ace, just one tank has given Thusanai plenty of time to push back. But of course, now the Tiger Ace is here to just push back again. Valve scored under fire from the Tiger Ace. First shot misses spectacularly. Just hits a bunch of dirt in front of it. Second shot shoots, misses as well. Still, I imagine there's going to be some psychological pressure. This Thusanai, as most players tend to not react particularly well to the Tiger Ace. They tend to get a bit scared or pressured, which can induce mistakes in them. That's what some players, in fact, go for the Tiger Ace for, just to like exploit any mistakes their opponents might make from it. If they don't play the Tiger Ace poorly, of course, which is also common. Unit there wiped up with the Tiger Ace. And some other units, it seems like. Heavy loss there for Thusanai. Lieutenant is gone. Now the Entertainer plus the Jack Tank. So Entertainer there got the pension here there on the Ace. Dipcom having away there. Panther on the flank here. Bazooka Pioneers. Entertainer being focused down there by Angry Dutchman. Very good. Doing a good job there for sure. Bazooka team moving up. Hey, Bazooka finding the Panther 4, 29 kills, ace level, Entertainer being destroyed. Tank Destroyer is arriving, but it's getting a bit stuck there due to the base being in the way. Entertainer getting destroyed there by the Tiger Ace. We got 10 kills on it, tearing its way here through Thusanai support weapons. The Zuga team there trying to catch the Pentaforce, not quite succeeding either. And we got the Tiger Race there hammering away with its 88mm gun. Still, most of the map is Thusanai's. Both fuel points are Thusanai's. He's got most of the victory points. Ooh, bad set of it over the anti-tank gun. Shot bounced off the Tiger tank's 100mm thick armor. Jackson tank swimming up with a 90mm gun was based off the Sherman chassis. In fact, most American tanks was based off some other chassis. In fact, it was only the M18 Hellcat that actually had a unique purpose-built chassis for it. So, little fun fact there. In fact, the first American tank destroyer was just basically a Jeep with an anti-tank gun strapped to its back. Then they sort of went up to a half-track with an anti-tank gun strapped on it. Then came the M10 and the M18 and the M36 Jackson. Going for the western point here. Seizing the eastern points as well. Air recon's up for Thusanai to get an idea there what Angry Dutchman's up to. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Mortar close to Veteran 2, seizing the western point here. Storms to the rifle squad there with tactical advance. Very good. 2 thumbs up there for Angry Dutchman. Almost takes out the rifle squad, in fact. Thusanai, I feel like he's being a bit too passive versus Angry Dutchman. Could easily be counterattacking the west at least. Maybe try and bait out the Tiger Race. The Zuga team's using their ready gun is being suppressed. Tiger Race advances. Panther going for a deeper flank here, and possibly against Thusanai. In the center machine gun opening up the advancing rear echelons and major. Forcing retreat here. It's really called in the machine gun though. Machine gun's been taken up with the Tiger Race. The Tiger Race is taking heavy damage from the Jackson tanks around the anti-tank gun. Machine gun crew exterminated by the Tiger Race, and they've got artillery ring down here. Machine gun dodges it. Grenadiers though looks like they may not be dodging. In fact, half the unit gone there. Panther pulls back here from the right flank. Deep flank here as well, launching what could be a sort of almost a pincer maneuver there. There's just nothing happening on the right flank to pull it off, but still, good flank here. Could be quite disruptive with Thusanai, who moves up through here. You get behind the entertainer, the machine quickly clear them out. And right here, I feel like Thusanai makes a mistake. He's separating his armor and tank destroyer from the rest of his forces. I mean, they're quite vulnerable to the Tiger Race plus. Like, they could be flanked as well from here, so there's no mistake. But oh, we got the flank going here, couple being pushed away. Panther 4 moving up, entertainer moving up. Tiger Race being repaired here. Worth noting he's using the vehicle crew repair to assist with repair speed. Very good. Concussive grenade in the 5th caliber and the anti-tank gun. Actually, Brandon Granate all the way does the trick. Further disrupts here Thusanai's position. Ralph's got a captain falling back. They're going to use quick move in and further do damage there. 5th caliber recruit here by Thusanai. Can soon go for another tank destroyer. Panther flying to 5 from the Jackson. Anti-tank though meanwhile gets the hit. Jackson does not. Panther's falling up the Jackson. The high gauge moving force as well here. Panther 4, less than half health still, dealing damage out here to Thusanai and the 6th Armoured. 75 points up to the Thusanai. Left side, I feel like we still see more action. Tiger is moving ahead here again, close to T2. Almost takes it directly on the Sherman, still gets some AoE damage in. Anti-tank gun bounce off the Tiger's frontal armour. Pushing deal with the rifleman. Tiger Race gets it, and there you go. Veteran 2 gained, opening up for spearhead mode. And abilities are permanent. The active moved from Veteran C1 to Veteran C2. And there you go. Thusanai surrenders as Jackson there by the way incapacitated, thus an easy target for Angry Dutchman's roaming panzers. A loss here for Thusanai, a victory for Angry Dutchman. I feel like Thusanai had points in the match, had a good chance to pull ahead, but he just A-flowed the resources, didn't pull ahead with his weapon he could have pushed ahead with. And also feel like at times failed to just exploit the flanks more against Angry Dutchman. And I feel like that contributed over to Thusanai's loss. He basically just didn't seize as many opportunities he could have. Meanwhile, Angry Dutchman, when he was presented with the opportunity, really just went for it and just went for the jugular of Thusanai, and several times just kept pressuring. At times, arguably, he could also flank more and try to outmaneuver his opponent more, but still in the end, he did better. And overall, I think psychologically probably doesn't have hand the edge with the Tiger Race, which I think is also just part of why Thusanai just ended up giving up there. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, tell friends, share, and family, but don't tell your enemies. This is Imperial Links and cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope you all tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.